1 week on from Sarah Pochin's question about the burqa, 1 week on from the fallout with the resignation and then the reinstatement of Zia Yusuf. Apparently he's apologised to Sarah Pochin as well, and she's turned up on Politics Live and demonstrates that she can't do that either. She just talks over other people. So it's a sorry vignette in the theatre of British politics, one that illuminates the perils of platforming mediocrity and the consequences of confusing indignation with insight. And at the centre of this drama, of course, is Sarah Pochin, Reform UK's newest MP, whose blustering debut displays not just a lack of knowledge, but a willful disinterest in acquiring it. Alongside her, a repentant Zia Yusuf pirouettes back into the party fold, apologises for the truth he briefly told. It's a cautionary tale about bad ideas and worse performance and the alarming ease with which these are rewarded in modern politics. Sarah Pochin began her Westminster career not with a reasoned critique or criticism, but or with a pressing concern from her constituents in Runcorn and Helsby, but with a question that was neither her party's policy nor the country's priority, a demand for a burqa ban. And the move sparked fury. Labour MPs shouted shame. Even Reform UK's then chair, Zia Yusuf, called the question dumb. But this wasn't just about poor judgment. It was theatrical politics at the lowest order, ignorance masquerading as courage, and the UK has neither the legal context of France nor its tradition of liberty, and yet Pochin, eager for controversy, drew on continental comparisons to stoke division. One could almost hear the dog whistle. And then came BBC's Politics Live. Why was she invited? For those of us who value parliamentary standards, it was painful to watch. Pochin jabbing her finger at fellow guests, interrupting repeatedly. She made a number of demonstrably false claims with extraordinary confidence. She suggested Reform's £80 billion in tax cuts could be funded by scrapping net zero projects, citing a £220 billion figure that even the Institute for Government says is mostly private investment. When confronted with this, she doubled down. You can't argue about these figures, she said, except, well, you can. That's the point of a democracy. Then she wandered into even murkier waters, claiming inaccurately that women in burqas don't speak in public and that male terrorists use the garment as a disguise, a tired trope long since debunked. It was a greatest hits compilation of assumptions, unverified, unthoughtful, undignified, and yet here she was on national television as if she had something serious to contribute. Why? Because we have created a system where volume trumps veracity and plain speaking excuses the absence of preparation. Zia Yusuf, for one brief and brilliant moment, broke ranks. He said the burqa question was idiotic. He resigned, then he recanted. Apparently the outpouring of sympathy on social media and perhaps a little stage fright of life beyond the limelight convinced him of his own indispensability. Now he's back, not because he changed his mind, but because Reform, as he says, is more than a political party, it's a movement, indeed. But movements can move in the wrong directions. Move and flush. And nothing screams dysfunction quite like a chair resigning in protest only to be welcomed back as a prodigal piece of furniture. Pochin's performance is not the outlier. And when she was confronted by Vicky Young, or rather more importantly by Sarah Owen, it's the logical endpoint of a culture that rewards indignation over intelligence, grievance over governance. She didn't do her homework. She misrepresented data. She contradicted herself. But because she played her role in Reform's culture war, she was rewarded with airtime, with platform, with a pat on the head from Nigel Farage, who knows full well that conflict sells better than competence. Sarah Pochin's floundering debut. The most extraordinary bit, you can't speak to a woman about wearing the burqa on the street. Actually, you can. You can. And more than that, when this idea that Kemi Badenoch says she asks women wearing the burqa to take the burqa off when they're in her surgery. Well, a woman can take a burqa off, can unveil in front of another woman. There's no problem. Sarah Pochin is simply ill-prepared. And these are symptoms of a deeper malaise in politics, where effort is optional, evidence is convenient, and the bar for being called an MP has fallen so low that one can almost trip over it and still be invited onto the BBC. If this is the future of opposition politics, then God help the country, or at least please send us better scriptwriters.